So this is a training video for puppies. This is what I want to teach puppies. I'm letting her do this, by the way. Some of the things I want to teach puppies is like bravery, confidence. I want to put their drive in the right areas. So basically, some behaviors I will let continue. Other behaviors I will correct immediately. So for example, Bella, what we were working on, sorry, cut my timer off. Bella, what we were working on is she didn't want to come to me, right? She was very head shy, so I couldn't reach at her without her dodging and moving. So what I had to do was I would have to bring her close and grab her rib cage. And that's why she's jumping more, okay? Now when she gets here, I can very easily just push her down. But if I correct her too harsh, she won't want to come back. So I guess the wisdom that I would give owners that have a young puppy, she's 8 months old, miniature Aussie, is pick your battles. Like you can see, like I almost give like no emotion to that, but I still correct it almost instantly. It's just, I correct it lightly. So just remember, if your dog's young, they're gonna do behaviors like that. Good girl. And she did that for free. Once she realized she kept getting corrected and it wasn't working, she just sat down in the heel position because that's what we've been working on. So that's the first thing we're working on, making her come to me and then working on what to do after she got there. So if your dog is jumping up and down, you can very gently correct that, but correct it immediately in the first second. And also you want to make sure you work on the positioning. So right here, she's at my ankle or the heel of my foot. That's the heel position. So we're going to work on that right now. Heel. Good. Come on. Good girl. When I walk, I want her to see it, and then I'm gonna turn it to lure her. Good heel. Come on. Heel. Good. Good heel. So what I do is I leave it right in front of her at the last second. Boom. I turn it because I want my hand speed to kind of move the body in the right direction. That's why I said some of her behavior I'm going to stop, some of her behavior I'm going to redirect. I'm going to utilize that energy and that drive. I want her to basically chase the food. So like if you were doing like a Shih Tzu type training program, you would be told to celebrate when your dog is engaged and jumping on you and things like that. However, since this is just behavior modification and puppy training, you want to correct it, but just be very consistent. Work on your positioning, just like that. Good girl. And she'll realize that even though you're not correcting her strong, she should do other things. Good. But never do this. Never do that, because then she'll, never do this. Because now she's chasing me. Okay, never do that. What that does is, it triggers, see look, she just bit my finger. I'm glad you guys got that on camera. She just bit this hand. So when I act fearful, or when I turn my back, I look like I'm afraid of her. I look like prey, because when she chases a rabbit, she sees the back of a rabbit, the back of a squirrel. So if you notice, what I did was, I make sure I'm facing her, or I'm directly looking at her, okay? So if I'm not facing her like this, I'm looking at her, and then I give her the food. So eye contact is a way to correct dogs, okay? It's a very authoritative gesture. The other thing is, when you have a dog in front of you like this, sometimes this can be considered like opposition. So sometimes with dog psychology, they get nervous. So I always put the dog in the heel position. So this is some of the things that we're working on. And if, like I said, if you have a puppy, you definitely want to work on the behavior inside the obedience. Good. Heel. Good. Heel. Good girl. Sit. Down. Good. That's something about pick your battles. Come on. Sit. Good. Down. There you go. So, down. Good. Give her big rewards for that. So let's try it again. Heel. Come on. Come on, baby. Yes. Good. Heel. Good. Sit. Down. Good. What I'm trying to eliminate is that what she's doing, she's putting her paw on me so I don't move. That's what she's trying to do. So we're gonna try that one more time. Heel. Come on. Good girl. Good. Good. There you go. Heel. Make sure it's lined up with your eye contact. Good. Sit. Down. So that you have to address. Down. Ooh, caught you right when you were jumping. So that's sloppy. Good. I'm using my foot because I don't want her to see my body going down, because it's basically you laying down first. Good. So when we allow her to make mistakes and we correct it, sometimes that's the best way to train. And sometimes you need to set them up for success. So right now I'm setting her up for success by limiting her ability to get up. That means it's going to be very easy for her to stay in this position. However, if I'm talking and looking at the camera, that's setting her up for failure. If I'm moving my hand around, that's going to make her want to get up. So you do both. Sometimes you act nonchalant and you do some drills very passively. Sometimes you enforce it. Like you see, she stayed down because now I'm like, don't get up. Which, once again, that's setting her up for success, because it's easier for her to submit when I'm being very clear and direct and limiting her ability to get up. So you guys work on those drills and let me know how it's going for you and your puppies.